Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters, and we did a PvP and then we did a ZVZ, so I thought, why not round it out with a nice TvT, and we've actually got a very, very epic one with two of the best Terran players in the world right now, going at it head to head. And it is going to be TaeJa and it is going to be Polt. So up the top left side of the map, it is Liquid TaeJa. Just pulling up a bit of stats on them for Liquipedia. In case you didn't know everything there is to know about these guys already, which you probably do. But yes, is TaeJa. He is number 11 on the WCS with 4,250 points. So absolutely insane. And he's been winning a whole ton of stuff recently. Quite a few tournaments, either getting right up near the top or actually winning it. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. And down the bottom right side of the map, it is going to be Polt, otherwise known as CM Storm Polt. He plays for the CM Storm, or he's actually sponsored by CM Storm, and also NOS Energy Drink, according to Liquipedia, so that's pretty awesome. But he is actually number 4 on the WCS with 5,625 points, so really insane. Both of these Terran players extremely high level. They're really at the top of this game, and yeah, so we're going to be seeing, you might be able to tell, but it's actually going to be a very decently length game, this game. So going to be very looking forward to see how these guys do in this game, what they come up with. They're pretty much even now, both of their stuff. Polt getting the sentry, no, not the sentry, the SCV, getting the scout out a little bit earlier than TaeJa has. TaeJa's scout is way far away, but you know what? That's fine. He's probably all right. So he's going to come in. He's going to see the Marine, just going to be running away straight away. So both players just playing pretty standard. We do have a factory coming out for TaeJa, and he may be getting a reactor off this barracks fairly soon to go for fast guys, maybe. And Polt actually going for a reactor straight off the barracks and going for a command center first. So he's going to be going for a ton of Marines. I can only assume he may be getting a factory to go with this as well. But he's got a slight advantage here because, of course, he can build the reactor straight off his barracks without having to muck around. So there goes the factory. And TaeJa has moved his barracks over to get the factory as well. So it looks like we're going to be seeing both players go for Hellion Harass or Hellbatter Harass or one or the other. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. TaeJa getting the starport up as well, so he's going to get his tech out a lot sooner than TaeJa is going to have. He can have Hellions, he can have Widowmine drops. If he gets an armory, he can have Hellbat drops. I don't see an armory coming up though, and he should have built one by now if he was going to. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be well, actually, I don't know. He's leaving this open for the starport, so we could be seeing some Banshee play, potentially. And that's going to be pretty scary. So a couple of Hellions / Widowmines, bit of Marines, and some Banshee play. And it really has to work at this point because, Polt has got a few things on the way. He's got some Widowmines, he's got his starport, and he's got an expansion. He's already got an expansion built. So TaeJa really has to do some damage right now, because if he does not do any sort of damage, if he only does minor sort of damage, only gives himself to a minor advantage, he is still going to be behind on this expansion. And you know the workers are just going to start coming out, the mules are going to start coming out all over the place. It is just going to be absolutely disastrous. And Widowmines, I'm not sure how much damage they actually do. 125 damage. How much health does a Banshee have? That is the question here. 140. So if this thing gets hit by a Widowmine, then it'll just take a couple of Marine hits to kill it. And TaeJa is going for his command center now, but that is going to be, you can see the lead that Polt has on the harvesters already starting to build just a little bit. And we will see, because it's going to come down to the Banshee to sort of skew that lead back a little bit to try and get TaeJa into the game. Oh, but he's flying straight over the Widowmine. Just dodges it. I don't know if that was intentional or not. But the Banshee going to be taking out its first worker. And a Viking already out on the field for Polt. And the Viking needs a scan to hit this guy though, but he is going to be trying to chase it. So many Marines, he's going to wait till the Marines get run underneath it, then scan. There goes the Banshee, so not really doing that much at all. And I'm going to say TaeJa is kind of behind in this game so far. It's not often we have a game where TaeJa is behind, but I feel like he's behind in this game. He's going to get out another Banshee, and he's got a third one on the way. So yeah, we will see. I mean, he's using up the scans that Polt has. So there we go, he's got the scans, taking out the Marines. He'd love to take out the SCVs instead. There he goes, but there is a missile turret. So he's got very, very close, and that beautifully placed Widow Mine gave him a nice hit. So the scan coming down, and the Viking finishes it off. Definitely worth it, I think, to scan to take out a Banshee, because you've got to remember, these things can be repaired to full health. So you do not want to let it limp away on 5 health, because as basically just, yeah, the Banshee just got away clean and free. But here we go. Remember, we've seen this in a previous video. There is a little dude sitting in this missile turret. We'll watch it as it goes around again. See, his helmet is up here and his arms are over there. It's not something you generally see unless you're really paying attention to it, but there is a guy actually in there. We do have a proper units lost here, so we do have proper units lost display. Where's this Banshee going actually? I lost it. He's going for a bunch of workers. This Banshee is doing a very good job actually. We're down to 6 workers. So he's chopping a lot of them up, but yeah, the missile turret is a bit too close. So yeah, this Banshee, what is he going to be able to do, man? Looks like Polt is just waiting for the right time to get a scan off. Another 2 workers go down, so there's 8 workers lost so far. Taking out that worker, oh, almost got 10, but 9 workers? I don't know. That's definitely the amount of workers that he needed to get down to even up the economy. So he's evened up the economy, but he lost 3 Banshees. And 3 Banshees is not a small amount of minerals, so Polt, I mean, he's got about the even income, but he's going to be able to have built up a ton more stuff at the moment. Look at this, building up his 3rd command center. I would say just generally, in terms of buildings, Polt has probably got more, just more of everything, because I don't know why these are separate. They should be stacking up, but yeah, I mean, look at that. 2 barracks versus 3 barracks. Probably got a couple of other extra buildings as well. The Banshee coming in, man. Ooh. Doing some nice micro to hit those guys and still keep the Banshee away. So very, very nice. But yeah, it's become pretty clear to TaeJa that Polt is planning on getting a 3rd base. And he's also got a Widow Mine waiting in TaeJa's own 3rd base. So Polt is definitely doing a pretty good job. I mean, the Banshee harass has been phenomenal, but the fact that he lost the Banshees is just, you know, is not acceptable, really. I mean, it's just too much. Too much minerals lost. If he had saved all those Banshees and got 9 workers, I would have said spectacular job, TaeJa. Spectacular job, but he lost those Banshees, and Banshees are not cheap at all. They cost a crap ton of stuff to build. Maybe 250 minerals and gas, like 150 minerals and 100 gas. I think that's it, off the top of my head. I can't remember exactly, but there we go. That guy gets surprised a little bit with the stim and does get taken out. So that Banshee, not all that useful, but we do have quite a lot of stuff going on for both players. Looks like TaeJa is pushing hard on the Marines and the tanks front. Polt has been getting a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, getting a bunch of Widow Mines as well. But both players basically going for the same thing. So we've got, because TaeJa hasn't gone for any Widow Mines or hasn't gone for any Vikings, I suppose, he's got a little bit ahead. And he's doing a really, really excellent job so far. Now, we've got to look at the upgrades, though. Polt does have 1-1. And TaeJa is 1-1, is not quite there yet. So he's behind on the upgrades, but he's ahead in terms of how many forces he's got. Got a bit of exchanges over here, fighting for that good old watchtower. No real contention for this watchtower over there. Looks like Polt has pretty easily got that, and Polt seems like he's pretty happily got map control. He's got a little guy here, and he's going to be able to shoot a little bit of stuff. The watchtowers do not extend to this range. And here comes the Marines. So TaeJa may be thinking about getting a bit of map control. And these forces could meet up. And I think TaeJa has a bit of an advantage simply because he's so close to his own base. He can get the reinforcements out nice and quickly. Beautiful job on the center tower, but man, oh man, Polt with a similar idea over there. So both players, they obviously know how to play Terran on this map. They know how to do a really, really good job. And Polt has actually pulled out a lot more on the harvesters. It's not that TaeJa's lost a lot of harvesters. No, it's not. It's pretty much that he just stopped building them. And Polt just kept on building them. So Polt definitely got a slightly better income at the moment. And he's definitely got the upgrades a lot better as well. Both players going for 1-1 on their weapons. And it looks like Polt has a slightly better, just straight up macro in terms of how many Marines he can produce. If we have a look around TaeJa's base, he's getting more. He's patching up a little bit to get more of those guys. He's actually building another factory, so that's going to be a ton of tanks coming out pretty soon. But look at this, man. Polt on the move. He's got 60 Marines, 7 tanks, which is pretty much the same thing that TaeJa has. TaeJa's got a bit more medevacs. But half of his forces over here, man, he needs to get them in position. He's got the defensive advantage on the ramp, which will help him quite a lot. But of course, scans, it means that Polt can obviously shoot up the ramp. But he's got a bit of range here. The front line of tanks getting taken out though, and I don't think the rest of them can actually reach it. So that if they push up, they can push out all 5 of them at once, and they will take a lot of damage. But look at this group going in, thinking about doing something. They got repelled pretty quickly, and this medevac is going to get away, is going to live another day. And the tanks just sieging up right in front of TaeJa's base. Polt may be thinking about going for a 4th base at this point because he's got a very, very nice contain. Sieging up there. And will these tanks be able to see it? Oh, he's got a nice vision on here. And will this tank go down? He's running in to grab it. He just can't get it though. But this siege tank finally taking it out. So slowly but surely pushing him back. A Viking out there going on, searching for that medevac. And it does go down. So a bit unfortunate. I suppose TaeJa was just leaving it there to try and drop in there at some point. But that wasn't going to work because there was bloody missile turrets all over the place anyway. So far, Polt with an excellent amount of map control, and TaeJa has caught up on the workers. Oh, look at this, running in, trying to get some stuff on the tanks, but sending in Marines, man, into this tank line to try and kill the tanks. I don't know if it's really worth it, man, because TaeJa's been throwing away Marines like you would not believe. He has taken down the tank numbers, I'll give him that. He's taken down a lot of tanks. And he's got a tank advantage right now, but was it worth it to lose so many Marines? I'm not sure. I really can't say at the moment, but so far he's holding it off. And he's doing a pretty good job. Yeah, I feel like the tanks actually have a range that's bigger than their sight range, so even if you're on level ground, you need a scan to be able to actually hit these guys. So yeah, there's one Marine trying to do something. But yeah, that did not work. Are we going to see a flank here, or is these forces just going to keep going on? Oh, the Widow Mine. That is going to give TaeJa a yeah. He's going to have to think twice before going in there. Marines thinking about it, but they've got these other Marines over there already covering them. And right now, both players just going nuts, man. Oh, the tanks getting a very, very nice positioning on these Marines. They're going to have to back up. More tanks pushing in. But TaeJa has got his own tank set up here. And that's beautiful. I don't know if they're in range. They're not quite in range. But the first person to make another move, if these tanks decide to siege up a bit closer, they are going to get owned. Very, very well owned. So here we go. Polt choosing to push in just gets absolutely annihilated. So that was not a very, very good decision at all. But I suppose what else can you do, man? What else can you do? He's thinking about doing a flank here, flank attack, but TaeJa does have his forces. He's dancing around. He's moving that little bit closer. If Polt scanned here, then he could start hitting stuff, because yeah, TaeJa was inside his fire range, just not inside his vision range. And the fact that Polt did not get the scan off as fast as he possibly could have means that he lost all those tanks. That is how crazy it is. The tanks moving forward, going to be setting up, but Polt is quite eager to be getting out of there ASAP. So you can see, if you move the tanks into the attack range but not into the vision range of the enemy tanks, all you need then is to do a scan before your opponent, and boom, you just start doing a crap load of damage, just an absolute crap load of damage. And TaeJa with 18 tanks versus Polt with only 4 tanks, so he's not actually building tanks anymore, it doesn't look like it. He's obviously losing a bit more, doesn't quite have enough minerals maybe. Here we go, the Marines running in, trying to wipe out these tanks. They took out 2 of them. The third one does survive. More Marines coming in, so TaeJa quite happy to sacrifice his Marines to take out enemy tanks. Oh man, this Widow Mine right in the middle. They really got to do something about that. The tank's actually coming around from the side. Widow Mine, Widow Mine. Oh, I think the Widow Mine took out a tank, man. Where is the scan on this Widow Mine, TaeJa? You've got to take care of this Widow Mine. You just gotta. At least these tanks are out of range of this tank, but these tanks are not. He's sieged up all along this line, man, all over the place, and these guys choosing to take the long way around do not want to get in range of that tank. Even got a sensor turret, man. Use a scan, for crying out loud. Get rid of this bloody thing. There we go, it's finally scanning to get rid of it. He must not have noticed it the previous time. And TaeJa keeping his tank numbers intact is really giving him a large advantage, because Marines, you can throw them away and you can just build a ton more. And it adds up after a while, but it definitely adds up over a while if you lose a ton of tanks. I mean, I would prefer to lose 4 or 5 Marines to a single tank any day, and that is what TaeJa has done. He has sacrificed a ton of Marines to keep his tanks alive and to eliminate the enemy tanks, and he's starting to look very strong in this game because of it. So it's a very, very nice game plan, and we will see if he can take it all the way to the end, because Polt is building a crap load of tanks. He's got 3 tanks coming out at once, and you got to remember, you need a tech lab to actually build those things. So yeah, that's 3 factories with 3 tech labs all building that stuff, and it's very, very nice. And Polt still on the upgrade advantage at the moment. He's got 333, TaeJa only has 332, and we're starting to see level 1 vehicle armor coming out for Polt. So as far as upgrades go, he does have an advantage. This group of Marines here is going to be stopping this base from landing down, and meanwhile Polt has got his own, and it's already a planetary over there. So very, very nice. In terms of expansions, Polt definitely doing some good stuff. And here we go, sacrificing Marines to take out the tanks once again. And TaeJa continuing to keep his tank numbers high, but tanks are not very mobile, and his lack of Marines is starting to show in engagements like this, where he doesn't have good tank cover. He's got good tank cover over there. He's got a planetary over there, so he's sort of okay. But there was a period there where he had no tank cover, and the Marines just absolutely were owning TaeJa all over the place. Simply because he's so restricted. Since he's relying a lot more on tanks than he's on Marines, it restricts you. It restricts you quite badly. So anyway, these guys pretty much maxed out, and Polt has got a ton of tanks, but he's still only 11 under 20. But he's got a ton of Marines. He's got a ton of Marines, 51 versus 41. And that is going to be working out well. He's also got a medevac advantage of about 3, which is not really going to make a difference. His Viking's going to be trying to hit something, but the Marines stimming in and running, taking a couple of hits, and here we go, sieging up. Good old sieging up to attack the planetary fortress. This is going to be awesome, and I don't think he can save this. I really don't, but this guy wasn't mining anyway, so here we go. Does TaeJa have enough DPS? I feel like he does not. Just with the Marines on top, he is going to lose all of those tanks. And this is the first major engagement where TaeJa has lost a significant amount of tanks. And I mean, he took out that planetary, but what was the planetary doing? It wasn't mining anything. It was just sitting there. And meanwhile, the Marines coming in here. Marines dying by their hundreds. Or not their hundreds, but they're losing a lot. But they still took out the planetary without tank support, so that was pretty good. And I really like, man, the TaeJa's got all these great sort of, dropping right next to the tanks. That is really, really nasty. Bunch more tanks over there with some Marines supporting them, but look at this. TaeJa started to take a serious drop in his tank numbers, but he's building 3 tanks at a time to get them back up. And Polt, one by one, is just moving his tanks and his Marines up in groups and just wiping out the little patches of tanks that TaeJa has. So TaeJa splitting his tanks all over the place, and Polt just goes one by one and just wipes them out. So it seems to be a pretty good tactic that Polt has been doing so far, and TaeJa choosing to group up a little bit more, which is probably a good idea. But he's definitely on the defensive right now, and this is actually going to be a good spot, I feel like, to siege up, but he does not have the tank numbers anymore. I mean, he's got to get more tanks out there, and he's got to just, yeah, these Marines doing a really, really nice job though, wiping out that medevac, so hopefully he can hold on. But I feel like this main force may be going straight for this 5th base over there. And TaeJa frantically moving over to try and see that off, but TaeJa is running straight into this beautiful tank mob over there, and the tanks just aren't quite in range, but he has managed to secure his own ramp, and it's all going to come down to the tank positioning. He can move up a little bit there, try and cover this area, but both tanks are in range of each other, so a nice scan coming down and starting to hit the tanks. Polt needs to do the scan. There is his scan. And how is it going to go? How is this battle going to go? You've got to remember as well that Polt does have 1 armor on his tanks, whereas TaeJa has 0. So in a straight up battle, TaeJa will lose. And so far he's holding on pretty strong. These guys coming around the side, getting shredded by the tanks, but they do take out. Or going on a flank as well, but some reinforcing tanks. Going to be pushing these guys away. The main force coming down. And suddenly, Polt is going to lose all his forces. He's going to have to back out of here. And TaeJa, looking very, very strong, just coming completely out of left field and doing some great job. He's managed to secure this base. But in all that craziness, Polt has managed to secure his own 5th base over there. I'm assuming it's a planetary. And some tanks coming up, but TaeJa, man, he's not got the tank numbers that he needs, and Polt is doing a really, really good job at keeping his tank numbers high, and TaeJa is starting to look a little bit mineral starved here. He's doing a great job, but when you do not have the minerals you need, you are going to be mineral starved, and that is what is happening to TaeJa right now. But he does have this base up, and he does have this base. It's been up for a while, so he just needs to get some workers over there and really start mining right now. What has he got for the income? He's doing alright, so he just needs to get some workers in the right places to really, really make sure that he gets that income going. Yeah, see, look at this. Man, Polt is just crazy, absolutely crazy. He just muled up 7 mules. TaeJa must be spending too much on mules, man, on scans. He's got nothing left for the bloody mules. But taking out this base, oh, the mules finished anyway, so it's not a massive, massive loss, but still a loss. And once again, oh my god, I think Polt might be able to hold this off. He needs siege tank support to take this out. But the tanks moving in. Polt is doing a very, very big push. And I don't think TaeJa has enough to see him off. He tried to get those tanks off, but it's just not quite going to work. And he is doing damage like you would not believe in TaeJa's base. And TaeJa, meanwhile, he's not going anywhere with that attack. So I think Polt is definitely in the lead here, and TaeJa just did not have the income that he needed. He must have used up too many scans, just did not have enough left for that massive amount of mules that he did need, and now he is paying the price. He does not have the amount that he needs. So there we go. I don't know, man. I feel like it's over right now. I feel like Polt has this in the bag. I mean, and TaeJa, I'm not sure what TaeJa can really do in this situation other than GG. I feel like he has to GG. He's trying to move over to here and get this base, But no, it's not going to work. I mean, the reinforcements coming out is just massive. And how many tanks have you got? 4 over there. So there's no way it's going to work. So yeah, he's happy just to stim in, run in, take his hits. And I think he's still got enough to wipe out these tanks. So there we go. The tanks go down. And Polt has got it. He's got it done. So he's even managed to get a planetary over here already. So that's pretty fast. But yeah, so the Marines, they can wipe out the buildings. I don't think they can wipe out the planetary though. But with his main base done, with his production capability down the toilet, he's 100 behind. And all of those were actually army units. So he's basically got no army at all. I don't know how Polt lost that many workers. I suppose it was just attacks over here from TaeJa. Just wiping out a ton of workers in this 5th location right over there. But this is going to be it, man. We're just waiting for TaeJa to give the GG right here, and it will be coming in at any second because he's got to realize he's got no hope anymore. I mean, he's trying to do something over here, but it's not going to happen, man. When you're this far behind, it's just not going to happen. So we're just waiting, man. Waiting for TaeJa to give the GG, and oh man, I'm actually a bit sleepy. Stayed up way too late last night. Out in the city, having some fun, but man, stayed up too late. So yeah, come on. There we go. TaeJa given the GG, and Polt is victorious in this game. And what a game it was. So thank you very, very much for watching. And I will catch you guys tomorrow for another Daily Masters. I don't think we have any more mirror matchups left in this bunch of games that I've picked. So yeah, we will see what's going to happen though. So thanks for watching once again. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.